Hello, good people of the flat Earth. I'm going to prove to you that the sun isn't 93 million miles away using perspective. So, let's get started. As you can see, there are two balls, one big being about 7 inches and the other small being about 2.5 inches. So, the question is, how far apart do these two balls have to be perceived to be the same size due to perspective? So, the distance between these two balls opposed to the observer is 30 inches, with the observer being 48 inches away from the big ball and 18 inches away from the small ball. You wave your fists and cry out insults. Where am I going with all this? Well, why don't you stuff your face with a pear, you p-brane, and hold your magic gravity? So, anyways, making a diagram based on this perspective perception, we can find out the angles from one ball to the other. All we have to do is make a parallel line from the center from here to here. And since the length is the same here, all we have to do is subtract this length from this length to get this length. And because we have the two sides of this right triangle, we can figure out the angles and the hypotenuse. This angle is 4 degrees. And this angle here is 86 degrees. You wave your fists and cry out insults. What is the point? The point is, due to perspective, we can place in another ball, and for as long as that ball fits the parameters, that ball will also appear to be the same size, due to perspective. So let's use this logic for the sun and see if it matches our reality of perspective. Now, the brain-scrubbing scientist claims that the sun is 864,576 miles wide in diameter, and that the sun is 93 million miles away. But here on flat Earth, the sun appears to be 32 miles wide at a distance. Now, at this point, it doesn't matter how big the sun is, because it appears to be 32 miles wide due to perspective. But the question is, what is the distance from this perceived sun to this sun? The distance from the sun to the perceived sun is 82,558,248 miles. Now subtract that from 93 million miles, and you get 10,441,752 miles. Now wait a minute. Do you honestly believe that a 32-mile wide object can be seen nearly 10.5 million miles away prospectively? Of course not. That's because these angles don't work. The sun can't be both 93 million miles away with a diameter of 864,579 miles to give us a perspective look of the sun clearly visible in the sky. Now, of course, the brain-scrubbing scientists can always tweak their fairy tales and make the distance shorter, therefore increasing the size of the sun and the angles to fit their fantasies.